welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, welcome. I appreciate you taking time to check us out. If you're returning, well, I also appreciate you guys taking the time to come back and see what kind of adventures we got into this. So this is part 3 of the uh, Team Overland Rally hosted by Coffee and Crawler. So this video will be strictly my team's run through the whole thing. Obviously, shortened and fast forwarded through parts where things are moving a little bit slower. But on my team, it was me, James here in his optic, and then Mike following up the back, uh, currently in his BRD cart. So that's Billy running up ahead. He's our judge. So I'm running my H10 optic. So basically, it's a RTR optic with a Fusion Pro, a an SDRC RS 800. I've got a Reefs winch, internal spool winch. Running the Knights Customs Terrabug body. So the gray one is James's H10 optic.
Okay, guys are coming through.
He's also running the Terrabug body, and I think he's running a Crawl Math or the new Holmes Hobby 2-in-1, and an SDRC RS 800. So that was we started physically second, and we just passed the first team, the team that left first. Unfortunately, they had broken a portal gear in their Phoenix, so they let us pass. So, trying to get up that rock, but wasn't able to. So the red truck here, this is Mike's VRD Carbon. He was originally going to run his optic, but was playing around beforehand and burned up a motor, so he luckily brought it back up, and we were able to get him swapped out, which his truck definitely isn't made for speed, but luckily you don't need all-out speed that much for this event. It does help on the straights, but cruising through here. The river was pretty high, so this is in Stillwater, Minnesota. It's held at the boom site, and usually there's not water this high at all. I'd say it's probably about 4 feet higher than normal, so that did affect some of the layout. So I'm running Predator, Mickey Thompson Pro Line, Mickey Thompson Baja Pros, and Predator compound with Club RC flubber stuffers in the tires. So hooking up pretty well. So got to give a huge shout out to the Coffee and Crawling gang. Once again, they knocked it out of the park with this event. They did a super good job. We all, here in the area, appreciate the time and effort you guys do put into putting on these awesome events. for all of us to get out, hang
Go,
out,
Mike.
have fun,
Mike, go.
have some friendly
James
competition,
got up your butt.
and experience new things that, otherwise we wouldn't have. So,
Blew it.
huge shout out to you guys. You guys are killing it.
Ready?
Thank you. Shout out to the sponsors for the giveaways. So, it's definitely
I
a
don't know where you hook your
different, like events like this are definitely a completely different animal as far as,
Yeah.
learning teamwork, working together, and like figuring out what, you know,
We gotta
it's
go.
not just about you and you getting over the obstacle. It's okay, I gotta wait, make sure your friend gets over it, make sure, you guys make it as a team because ultimately, um,
Oh, watch your head.
that's what this whole thing is about. So it definitely puts a different perspective on things, which is super cool. I really am looking forward to more of these in the
Wall
future.
something, I guess.
Uh, I had heard that they are talking about one with trailers. They're talking about a night run. I've heard they're talking about possibly doing one with a like micros. Obviously, it'll be a lot shorter, but so this was the, I'd say, second hardest obstacle on the course. So I just kind of sped it up. I think it took us 7 or 8 minutes to get up this. Um, we fought and fought trying to drive it. Again, we were the first team to this point, so it was kind of not sure what the strategy was going to be. So we ended up just using winches and, hooking ourselves to a ledge, winch up until the second person was, you know, a little ways down. As you can see, Mike there hooking the winch or hooking his kinetic strap up. James hooking the winch higher up on the rock, and then pulling both trucks up. So I'm getting my cable ready here to hook to the back of Mike, and using my winch to start pulling myself up onto that first ledge. So cameras don't do it justice here on how steep this rock is, but it was a it was a challenge, that's for sure. So kind of trying to just get ourselves positioned here. Mike's able to drive up while pulling me to the point like right here where I'm able to just drive up myself. So unhooking winches
Hopefully she'll
and
stay on.
continue on. So
Oh,
some
my bad.
super cool you know, rock crossing here.
It was a new one, filming with my mouth.
Yeah, you hear me there.
I've
I had
seen
to
those.
film with my mouth because while winching,
Yeah,
I
that's.
can't winch, drive, and steer um with one hand on my remote. So needed two hands, and then obviously I wanted to record. So that was a interesting combination there. But luckily, I was able to get it.
Okay.
So if you guys had watched the previous videos of the Team Overland Rally, if you guys haven't, I would definitely recommend you guys going back and checking it out. If
Right?
you you have, you saw Brian earlier do basically the same thing, except for he launched his off of the rock. So that was almost a really bad moment. So yeah, you guys have seen clips through this whole area.
Like you just held up a disposable
And
camera.
now that this will be the whole
I was
video
like, did
of
you
our
really
run.
just? All right, never
This
mind.
this spot right here, you can see
He
James
found one yesterday and
starting
our
to
load would go.
spin. This spot was really tough for optics without having that belly clearance. So I'm gonna pull around. We're gonna use mine or my winch to hook to James and kind of pull him straight
Turn and drive this way, Scott.
so he can go forward.
There you go. Let out, Scott. In. Other way.
So shout out to James and Mike for helping
Well, you can come over there and then
like
come
hook up
back.
winch
too.
and stuff
Whatever
off
you
my
wanna do,
truck while I
Scott.
filmed.
We just back up and roll them this way.
So this is a more scale style event. So if there is rollovers, we have to use the truck, kinetic cable or winch to roll over
Just be able to back
the
up.
stuck vehicle.
Sorry.
Go.
Use this one.
Oh.
Go.
James
Go back
there
over
trying not to get stabbed by my land anchor with death.
Go back all around.
The thing has got a gnarly spike on it. Mike didn't make it over the first try, so he's going back now to give it a second run. You can see Mike doing a better job there, getting through, getting down. Again, he was able to, with having the carbon, he was able to have a, better line at it so he wouldn't get hung up. James there able to sneak on through. I feel like it helped a lot to have several different rigs instead of all of us having optics like we had planned. Mike having the carbon, he had spots where he was better off or like more capable.
So just go forward. That's it. Try to get me.
There you go.
Which helped, and then we definitely had spots where me and James were more capable. So, but again, got bellied there. So James hooking me up and pulling me out. So that was a spot we saw a lot of rollovers. That was a spot that claimed Dustin's first.
You have to go around the rock.
Or a rollover that Dustin had, and then Kyle went to save him and got tangled up in his kinetic rope and took out a portal gear.
Okay, come on in. Oh, other way. Well, that ain't coming out of there.
But the scale recoveries are actually pretty dang fun. Like I had a blast with doing that kind of stuff. So this line, it messed a lot of people up. Obviously, like I said, we were the second team to go, but we had already passed the first team. So we were going to be the first ones to finish. So all the other videos, I had already posted the other two videos for this were after we ran. So I took a tumble there.
What a save.
Can you make it back up?
So James had to back up and help
There you go.
get me through that situation. Found out that going high was definitely a better route there, but you live and you learn. Is luckily I didn't get too smashed up in there. There it is. Huh. So if you look at the left roof slider
Well, no,
on the
yeah,
optic,
because
on my pink optic, you can see it's broken.
Drive through it.
And we were kind of wondering when that happened.
Fuck this over real good there.
And now we know.
There we go.
So I thought I could drive the line
That didn't work.
high and just pop right up it. And that didn't seem to be the case. As you saw, it took a tumble.
Saved my life.
And I thought I was stuck here. Like, just a little bit, the smallest little thing, I got a little frustrated there. But come on. But yeah, you can see that left roof slider is caved, so I wonder if that happened on that roll-up. I'm gonna have to go back and watch
Watch out, there's a
closer.
cliff back here.
Because we thought it happened at the very end, which you'll see. I got kind of tangled in there.
That was for you. You're welcome, Scott.
Yeah, my back tire's in.
I don't know if you want to put that somewhere.
So one thing I think I am gonna change. I have seen people use like small kinetic ropes or like hair ties, um, tied to the back so that they can just hook their cable to, and then their winch cable, and that keeps tension. I think I may end up doing something like that, because hooking to a solid point and then having to winch to pull it down kind of sucks. So I think I'm gonna do like a hair tie or a small kinetic rope on the back to hook my winch cable to for just speed. So it kind of looks like I'm looking straight down at this, but that's actually up a hill. So pretty steep little hill area.
I have some of mine if you need them.
Well, there's screws in there, just not long enough. Easy.
Look, you're gonna hurt yourself. You're not gonna play toys anymore.
So James, give me a little hook there. And again, it's one of those, you gotta kind of weigh your options through the whole thing on what's quicker is to, do you winch or do you um, have someone, pull you up, or do you just keep bumping into something trying to get up it? So kind of about developing a strategy and
Come on, you're getting my wheels dirty.
going with that strategy.
God.
I know.
Sorry, what?
James, they're the expert knee recovery. He just ended up getting stuck in the back or in the middle, and so he was the one who always had to come save me. Thanks, James.
That's all I want to do. Power to get out of it.
So this little lip was kind of daunting because if you fell in the hole there, it's definitely a pit of doom. Like you might be able to winch out of it, but it would have taken some time. Yep. I definitely did a good job rolling over a lot.
Just gets stuck on a random half rock.
So, I was running some offset caps. So I dropped it about 10 mil. So I think that was part of the issue why I was getting bellied out a lot.
You're up. Up is up.
I have since swapped out to regular and want to try again. So this was the bonus spot here. There's one bonus on it, and if the whole team got through it, it cut 5 minutes off your team's total time.
This takes 5 minutes off?
Yeah.
It wasn't terribly hard. If you guys have seen the other videos, you saw that people did struggle. We were really no exception. You know, it didn't take us a whole heck of a long time to get through here. But, you know, we probably saved ourselves 2 or 3 minutes overall. Because Mike and James bumped right through it with no problem, but of course, got myself all caught and tangled and.
Yeah, what?
Filler rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at Scott's ass, apparently. Damn
Does it count if you look at James right now?
Yeah, I really need to move
Up there?
which button I'm using for the wedge.
I was just
As
told
you can
gotta
see
put it
there,
in one spot.
I've got it like on the front of my controller right now, and I really need to move it to something else so I can do it one-handed. So, hook to James, and as you can see there, I mean, it took us, as a team, it took us a minute and a half to get through there, so we probably saved
Yeah, that's fine.
3.5
I'm
minutes,
just trying to
shaved off of our time.
get this hooked.
Super cool.
So close to the end.
I mean, it definitely
I had
helps.
1 minute on my
Anytime you can get off
This was a backup.
helps.
I just can't play with.
But I know there was teams that kind of burned up
Good push, guys.
that time that they would have earned as a bonus trying to get through it. So it was a gamble. Like, what, you know, was it worth the time off of your time if it took you longer than that 5 minutes to get through there?
Come back around, but then you gotta come back. Oh, that's sharp.
Mike, finding out James's
Who designed this?
land anchor was a spiky one.
Thank you, sir.
Not sure what brand James is running.
James will have to get a.
Not sure if he went with buy once, try once, like I did, or if he got something else. So by this point, like, you're like
Oh, someone is
at
right
the
over there.
3/4 mark, but like in actual getting done and finishing the course, there's a lot left. So it's kind of like, oh hey, I'm right here. Like, you get that feeling like I'm almost done, and definitely are not. Like, this next section and the finish are super gnarly. So Mike hooking his kinetic rope up, and hope get himself up, and then James just hooking right to him, and then I'm hooking right to James. So I feel like as a team we worked pretty well and had a good idea for all of this, you know, to what was going to work. So just kept us all tied together right there to get us up and get us through.
Yep.
You're good. Holler if you guys need something.
You were always the one that told me to treat it like a foot race. Oh, that's not what we were talking about?
So I love this little creek area. It's super, like, you could do some super scale photos down in here. This was a nasty, dirty obstacle. Like, you guys watched the previous videos, you saw quite a few people fight through here. We were no exception.
What? Oh.
This big belly out rock to the V-notch, like, oh, that was not easy. Yeah, so James coming back to get me.
Go turn around. Go turn around. This way, boy.
Walking the dog here. So got it rolled over.
Yeah. No, so you can go around because you already went through that.
So yeah, James made it through, so he's just going around.
But I still have to make it.
And yeah, now to get me through. As you guys can see, I was sliding all over the place on this rock. A lot of people were fighting this rock. This rock was nasty. That V-notch was nasty.
You can go that way with me.
Yeah.
Back up.
You know, kind of sped the video up there.
Watch him do it by himself.
But yeah, the challenge
I was almost
is,
there.
Good job, Scott. Teamwork. You did it all by yourself.
you know, are just the big challenges are coming up. Like this whole area from here on was basically nothing but a fight. Part of me wants to get a bigger front bumper / stinger for this, so you can help push on people. The other part of me is like, I don't want to kill my approach angle. It's
Yeah, I'm getting out of the way of that.
Start winching in, do something.
it's not a, I don't know, it's a trade-off.
There you go.
No, we're not.
So James pulled up, got himself hooked up to Mike.
Get out of here.
So I'm pulling up to get myself hooked up to James, because I don't think I've seen anyone get up this part without winching or like hooking to someone. And again, this back there was just where the trouble or the fight started.
It's tough.
this last whole section to end up the finish
Yeah, there's quite a bit
were
of winch
just
points.
gnarly. So this was like the
I mean, we
widest
can go up
gate,
anywhere
and
in
you
here,
had
can't
like
we?
a
Yeah.
4 or 5 foot section in here to be able to go up. And I thought in the last one we had gotten up right where I was trying, but I I couldn't get lined up.
Where's the second gate?
Watch your eyes.
Up here.
Go from here to there.
So me trying to give James a little push while Mike's pulling on him. So James getting situated here to come get me a pull.
Oh, I don't know.
Hard spot, James. Oh, you're wrapped around your rear wheel. Back up.
Yeah, my that was the sound of my rear pinion and ring chipping some teeth. My winch cable got wrapped around my rear tire. Not a happy sound. At the time, we didn't know what happened or like, how bad it was. I was able to finish the entire event on it, and I could have probably continued to run it. Um, it, but I swapped it out. I got a new one. So James got himself a little backwards, sideways, and upside down in here. So we tried getting him out driving normal. We didn't really have any luck. So backwards it is. Mike hooking himself up to James. Mike was able to just kinetic rope right through there, make it look easy, carbon life. So again, sped it up here, so that way, just try to get the video, so it's not so long. But
Get through there. Come down to that bottom side and put me over frontwards.
I was able to,
How you doing, Scott? I'm a great anchor right now if you need me.
look at my feet,
There you go.
but I was able to just,
I was just gonna pull you over, but
get lined up and bump right
He's
through
got to
it.
go around that and then come down there.
So
Just flip me
Mike,
back on my wheels and we'll go.
in the effort to get
After here to run to the finish.
James
You follow you follow along that road.
through there,
Can I put it back over there?
ended up flipping himself upside down.
I watched.
oh,
I went down that too.
that's what I would have.
So Mike was kind of running ahead, and doing the obstacles, getting ahead of us. Overall speed wise, he was slower than we are. Like his truck, not mentally. Um, so he was able to he ran ahead when we got into stuff, and
Like,
then we just catch up with
I
him.
like that.
Right where your driver's tire is. Keep it in that groove.
This is a super off camber. I thought I was over. I thought I was going over.
Give her hell. Get out of
I
there. Right around that rock.
flubber stuffers there doing work. Letting us side hill.
There you go.
James making it look easy. Again, my truck being a low bellied big girl, she needed help. I'm fighting, fighting, and fighting, and digging and digging. It's one of those like I talked about before, developing a plan and how long do you sit and work, try to get up something before you just hook cable.
There you go. Hold on. Just throw it in there.
So getting my stuff tucked in and running to the last obstacle, which is the finish. If you guys were at the event or had seen the previous event or whatnot, this finish is insane. And they did narrow it up. So last time, a lot of us ended up going high on the right and just going up straight up the wall. Well, they changed that this time, so you weren't able to. You can see the chalk lines there. So you had to work your way up the V notch. James getting himself as far up as he could drive, and then just automatically hooking the winch and working his way up. Mike doing carbon things, he's able to drive up pretty much about halfway. Again, this is an obstacle I haven't seen anyone drive up. Um, if you've been around the channel for a while, even you've seen us mess around and try this even in SCX6s and not be able to get up. So James there working his way up, working the winch, and Mike Mike making it a good distance there. So James digging that land anchor in. And man, these things, land anchors are super cool. Like they just dig in and, well, do what they're supposed to, I guess. And so Mike hooking the kinetic rope up to him. I'm following Mike up as far as I can, just driving, which I feel like I made it pretty far. Just driving, but I got into this V notch, and that's about all I could do right there. That's about it. That's as far as I've seen really anyone get. So Mike's still hooked to James, and I'm hooking to Mike, or Mike's hooking me to him. And so yeah, they're gonna start pulling me now. So if you guys are still here, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Um, I appreciate again. Thank you to the Coffee and Crawling guys for hosting this awesome event. Um, thanks Mike and James. You guys did a killer job. Um, yeah. If you guys are still here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, guys, get out and have your own adventures.